Splitting Hairs with Max and Nicky.
I'm Max.
And I'm Nicky.
And together we're
Max and Nicky. So this is the first episode of this new podcast we're starting, and to kind of just give you an idea of what we're trying to do here, we basically are going to just talk about topics that we get passionate about, sometimes we'll have disagreements about them,
and we'll analyze them or nitpick them as
really
we like to
overthink things and split hairs. Basically,
we'll cut that out because I don't think we don't need to explain that much about it. Actually, we'll just say
you're wrong about that.
Why?
That is what we should be doing.
No, we could just say we like to talk about small subject matters, and we'll get and we'll talk about them with passion.
No. We can tell them that we're talking about things like.
I don't like the idea of saying, and we'll split hairs about them. That ruins the whole joke about it, actually.
Dude,
it's like
you
saying...
sound like you have a cold or something.
Really?
You sound like this or something.
Okay, I don't know why you're saying that.
Well, then stand up straight.
No, I don't... you don't want to tell them that we're splitting hairs. That makes it seem like we're purposefully trying to split hairs then. Don't you understand?
No. It's not that we're not purposely splitting hairs, but sometimes that will happen, is what I'm trying to say.
You don't need to explain what splitting hairs is then. That's like you're explaining to them what we're doing. Just say, and we'll get really in depth with the talks, and we'll really, go at it, on a very microscopic level, if you will. Or I don't know.
Anyway, hope you enjoy this show.
And as you could see, what we were just talking about is an example of what you might hear on the show.
Max is correct. Also, part of the fun of the show is being able to distinguish our voices from one another. For example, I'm Nicky right now.
And I'm Max.
And
I was going to say, and you at home can split hairs over what we sound like, each of us sound like.
I think you'll start to be able to tell the difference the more you listen to these podcasts. So if that's a goal of yours, is to tell the difference not only between what we look like if you know us in person, but to tell us the difference between what we sound like, then this is good practice for you.
And then you can actually just get to know us better through the podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, our first topic for this episode, this is something that we often have arguments about, and it's how to tie a scarf correctly. And
of course, there are many ways one can tie a scarf.
Yes, but I believe for me, I like tying a scarf according not only to what is going to best keep you warm, but also what's going to look the best, what's going to look more fashionable. You kind of want to have fashion and function going on.
Sure. I think that Nicky and I, there is one way of tying a scarf, which is sort of just kind of wrapping it around your neck, actually. Which I guess I could go for that, but I'm not. That's not totally how I would do it.
It's not really what I do either.
And I think we actually both tie the scarf in a similar way. In fact,
that's not true. I used to tie my scarf. I used to do two kinds of ways. I used to kind of wrap it around my neck and leave a part of it hanging in the back, and then have the other part of it kind of throw it around the other side of my neck, so it's kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better way of explaining it, looks like it would be blowing in the wind or something, but it's not.
Sort of a little
sort of an effect. That's kind of what I do now, and I like that look.
Really?
But what I was doing for a while, which I kind of learned in France, was it's kind of a way. I know this sounds really boring, but you kind of do like a noose kind of thing, and you put it around your neck. And so this is essentially what Max does too.
This is kind of one of the standard ways of tying a scarf is. I mean, basically, you take the scarf, you fold it in half, lengthwise, and then you...
Well, you don't have to explain. You don't have to explain what they do.
Sure.
But it kind of is like a noose kind of type of effect.
Well, no, I mean, I think we should explain a little bit how it is. You fold it in half lengthwise, right? And then you... what do you do? Then you fold that over widthwise? Is that?
Oh no! I mean, this is.
And then you put it around your neck, and then you'll have a loop basically, and then you pull. You put the stuff in. You put everything on the frilly end through that loop. And so you kind of
frilly end. I mean, that depends.
I guess it depends on the scarf, right?
On the scarf.
Well, in any event, then you pull the non-loop end through the loop, and then you kind of tighten it, and then you kind of create a snug,
so here's
warm,
the thing:
cozy.
this is where we differ on things. I used to tie a scarf like that, but I wouldn't keep it really snug. I'd let it a little loose because, in my opinion, you don't want to look like you're choking yourself. You don't want to look like some kind of no-neck Joe kind of situation. But Max does tie it to the neck and keeps it. But not only does he do that, and I see the point of doing that if it's really cold, but he also puts it to the side like it's some kind of like ornament or something. Like his head is some kind of ornament.
What? No. Actually, Nicky's going to explain how he does it, and the way he does it is actually ornamental. Actually.
No,
it's not utilitarian. Actually,
I already explained how I do it.
No, well, he lets it loose is the thing.
Well, but
he used to the way he does it. He used to do it at least with the noose fashion, and he'll let it loose so that the neck is exposed. But it just ruins the whole point of the scarf, in my opinion. And I understand what he's saying; it's for fashion. But in this case, there is no there's no practicality at all in it. Actually.
No, there is. Your neck is somewhat warm anyway, but also on top of that,
though.
No, but it is. It's just that I don't like the idea of having my neck just covered completely because it just looks like, it looks as if you have a turtleneck. Do you want to have a turtleneck? Turtlenecks look so stupid.
Well, I don't know about, if it was kind of like the 60s and you were kind of like a 60s spy, I mean, maybe a turtleneck might be fine.
Well, maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't even look like that because it's like a bulkier thing around your neck.
No, it's not.
And it just looks like you don't have a neck, I think necks are an attractive thing, and on both women and men, and it's nice to be able to show that part of you, and it kind of distinguishes you a little bit. For example, we both have prominent Adam's apples, and I think it's kind of nice to be able to show that part of you. It kind of
what are you saying?
It complements having a neck shown complements your face in a certain way, and it makes you appear more attractive, I think.
I mean, yes, that's true, but then I would just argue not to wear the scarf at all then. I mean,
well, no, that's not true because, for example, I have a pea coat, and I think it looks, for me, it doesn't, not for everybody, but for me, wearing a pea coat without a scarf looks weird. It just looks kind of weird to me.
I get that too. Actually, it does look well.
It just doesn't look good. It looks
well. Actually, I mean, it depends on the person, I suppose.
It depends on the person, but
I guess for us,
for us,
no, because like a James Dean,
that's
kind of wore a pea coat sometimes, and he
right.
didn't need to have a scarf.
That's true. Well, for my personal kind of fashion, though, wearing a pea coat without a scarf would look kind of a little schlunky compared to fashionable.
Maybe I think that. Yeah, I get what you're saying about that. But here's the thing, though. Wearing a scarf the way I do is actually classic. That's a classic look.
No, it's not. Because you put it to the side, and it's like, why are you putting it to the side? I just don't get that.
It just seems a little weird that it hangs down in the middle. That's not... What are you talking about? Actually, if you take a look at... Oh, God, I forgot the guy's name. He was part of the French Resistance in the in World War II.
Charles de Gaulle? No.
No. He was part of the French Resistance, and he had actually, I think he had attempted committing suicide previous to that, and so he didn't ever show his neck. I forgot the guy's name. He's very famous. But anyway, he would always wear a scarf, and there's a classic photo of him, or it's classic pictures of him, and he's wearing a scarf. He's always wearing a scarf.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
So he's wearing a scarf, and he's also wearing a hat, I believe. But he actually, in that case, didn't want to show his neck, and it looks classic.
I just don't agree with you on that.
I bet if you ask many people, they'll say that they don't. It looks ridiculous to me. The way Nicky does it actually looks a little ridiculous. Actually,
that's how
drooping.
Celebrities do it.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Celebrities, they cover their neck.
No,
with their
they
scarves.
don't. They
yes,
don't.
They do.
No, they
yes,
don't.
They do.
No, they don't.
I disagree with you.
I disagree with you.
I think because the scarf is utilitarian. I think you are supposed to protect your neck with it. It actually, I agree with Nicky that you do want to show off your neck in cases. I mean, that's a good thing.
No, but also
in this case, the scarf can actually make you look good too. Actually,
it can make you look good. But
so you're saying,
talking about utilitarian, I actually think that having it too tight or tightened all the way to the neck, it kind of makes me feel like I'm being choked.
Okay, then what would you do?
It's very uncomfortable.
Okay,
actually,
when it's really
I have certain heartburn problems that go esophageal problems that go up to my neck. Actually,
do you say esophageal or is it esophageal?
I think it's esophageal. And when it goes...
Are you sure?
Yeah, pretty sure. When it goes up to, if I tighten the thing too tight, this happens too when I even wear a suit. When I tie my tie too tight, it makes me feel like I've got a burning sensation in my neck or something.
No, I don't. I do agree, though.
It's constricting.
Sometimes, though, I do feel constricted by my tie. No, that's true. Especially when you're singing, actually. It's kind of a little bit of a situation, but...
It is.
I will say though,
true,
if you're saying you can't. Basically, you're saying you can't look good when it's winter time and it's cold on your neck. And you want to be snug up. I think you can look good. Actually, and I disagree with you. I know many of people I've seen that they tighten their scarf. That's a classic way of doing it.
Yeah,
I mean, you're saying that nobody does that? Is what you're saying?
No, I'm saying certain people, not the way you do it, because the way you do it, it looks. Well, I mean, maybe they do it the way you do it, but I feel like kids do that more than adults.
I disagree with you completely, actually.
Or it's.
I think it looks weird actually to have the dangling ends in the middle. That looks too much symmetry. I don't think is a good thing. Actually, it just seems a little too symmetrical. You kind of want to have a little asymmetry that looks kind of cool. Actually, you know what I'm saying?
That's neither here nor there. That's a
what do you mean? That's
subjective thing, and
no, I know this whole thing is subjective. What we're talking about? What are you talking about? Of course.
Well, okay, but
I don't even know what does that mean. I mean, I know people know when, I know how to use it, but what does that come from? That's neither here nor there. I mean, what
that means that
that's neither here.
That's not relevant to the conversation. That's what neither here nor there.
No, it is relevant to the conversation. What are you talking about? You were just commenting on...
That's true, but I don't think... anyway, I don't even tie my scarf like that anymore. But
it's neither here nor there.
I do a different thing altogether. But the point is, I just think having something too snug that's covering all of your neck is... not very fashionable.
I guess
it's not very attractive.
I don't know what I'm saying. I get what that phrase means, of course. What am I saying? I mean,
okay, we're not talking about.
I guess I just never think about.
Okay,
it.
We're not talking about the phrase anymore. Anyway, I don't think we're going to come to a complete agreement on this, and I don't think we ever will. But now the audience knows two differing opinions, and they can decide for themselves who was right and who was wrong. Of course, it's a subjective thing, and
you can do it how you like to do it. Yeah. Everyone has their own fashion.
Yeah, some are better and some are worse, and that's just the way it crumbles. cookie-wise.
Well, I mean, that's, as you said, it's subjective.
It is subjective.
But
it is a subjective.
that's better or worse. I mean, some are more. That's where they make chocolate and vanilla ice cream. That is what you should have said, meaning to each his or her own, like an ice cream cone.
That is, and that's the gist of it. All right. Thank you for joining us
on our inaugural episode of Splitting Hairs with Max and Nicky.
We'll catch you next time.